Welcome. My name is Jeremy O'Connell, and I'm the lead or head developer for the Connect2SSH Bash utility. In this video, I just want to take a few minutes and give a tour of the system, how it works, or how the utility works. You should keep in mind it is software. There will be updates along the way. So obviously some things are subject to change as with any software, and therefore the recording might not reflect the most recent version. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to my terminal here and I'm going to issue Connect2SSH, the command. And you'll see here right away that we are met with a screen that says the action is saying enter a valid action. So you have to please enter a valid command in order to tell SSH would connect to SSH. What do you want it to do? Now, if you don't know the command, or you've forgotten, or you just want to look up what the commands are, there's this little helpful information here. It says you may run Connect2SSH with help added to get a list of valid commands. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this. I'll run Connect2SSH with help. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this, and a whole bunch of information appears on our screen. So let me scroll back up. Now you can see here the command. So what you do is you type in Connect2SSH space in a command. And then I've broken this down into sections. So we have the command, then some spaces, the shortcut to it, so you don't have to type in the full command, and the description. So for here, you can see connecting to or connection to an account. You can type in Connect2SSH connect, or you can do just CO for short. Also, there's this. Now, keep in mind, I'll be reviewing this in future videos, so if not all this makes sense, that's fine. Let me just stop and point that out. There's a shorthand here that also says go account ID, and you can add FS or not. FS is a file system. So then I give some examples here. Then there's disconnect, which is you can type in the Connect2SSH space disconnect, or you can do DC for short. You may also do a shorthand end account ID or mount point, and the bash utility script will actually end that. Connect2SSH will end that. And I give some examples here. Again, when we actually get videos, you'll see. Now, the rest of this is where you set up the information in the system, because this part here is working with accounts and actually connecting or disconnecting from your nodes. Because you could be SSHing into a server, you could be SSHing into a desktop, you could be SSHing into a switch or some other networking gear or anything that supports SSH. You can SSH into it. You might want to mount the file system onto the system that you're currently connected to, which SSHFS will do. Now, I've broken this down into two groups here. Well, for actions here, as far as adding and editing, you have server actions and account actions. What happens is you add and edit and update servers, and then you attach accounts to them. So a server would be a node, and it might not always be a server. As I said, it could be a NAS, which is kind of like a server. It could be a switch, or it could be a router, but I call them add a server. So it might not always be an actual server. That's just the language I chose. So if you're going to add a server, you could type in Connect2SSH space add-server, or you could just do Connect2SSH space AS for quick. So these are the quick actions. And you have update, which is you're updating a server or host. You have delete. Well, wow, that's deleting a server or host. And you have list servers, which will give you a list. And then under accounts, you can add an account or username, something to connect to. You can update an account, delete an account, or list all your accounts. And then finally, you have credits. So if I go ahead and I type in credits here, well, I got to issue the command. Here, let me go ahead and clear this. You'll see, which is just all I'm probably going to run in this one. And you get me, Jeremy O'Connell, is the lead developer. And then you get Joe Collins at Easy Linux, who I actually bounced. We talked about it, and he tested it, did some testing with me. And just so you know, I use this system, not just simply throwing it out there. No, I use it all the time, daily, to connect to hosts. So that's all there is. Once again, if you don't know, if you can't remember, and obviously if you enter a command that's not valid, it just simply throws you back to, just says I don't understand that command, so enter a valid command. And if you aren't sure, if you simply enter the help, and I tried to make it user-friendly to tell you if you've forgotten, then that's how you would get a list of the actions. So in the upcoming videos, I'm going to explain in detail how you use each one of these. So if you're confused, you're going, wait a minute, Jeremy, I don't get it. You will in some future videos. So I'll see you shortly.